Fajn. Dobrý den, omlouvám se za komplikace. To je stejně, no. A jenom chtěl jsem se zeptat, chcete to dělat v angličtině nebo v češtině? Já s tím nemám problém.
To je jedno, co je pro vás příjemnější.
Protože jako mám kolegyně, které jako neumí česky, ale jako jenom. Okay, so fine. Yeah. Okay, so welcome to the final session. I will try to make it short. So it's like everyone is start. My name is Mohamed Sahbi. I'm Microsoft student partner and MBA student in University of Economics, and I work at DHL IT services as software engineer. So, and yeah, so that's me. So today it's about Azure Data Studio. I don't know if have you ever used it?
I've seen it.
Yeah, okay. So, and you work with data? Anyone of you? I mean, it's like mainly you are in development or with data. What's
Development.
Okay. So this is the tool for you. Actually, if someone from data administration and stuff, it's actually not the one. But mainly, it's typically for SQL Server. Those if you are using Transact SQL, the TSQL, so it's typical to use SQL Server Management Studio, which is heavy. I mean, it's like the same thing Visual Studio in coding, and then Visual Studio Code came in, and everyone started using the light version, which is cross-platform and stuff. This is literally a clone. Literally, they made a clone of the fork of the Visual Studio Code, and they built it. And those who used SQL Server extension in Visual Studio Code, actually it's from that idea that they made extension and they said like, oh, okay, let's make another project just separate. So yeah, so this is officially like, it used to be preview until September 2018, and then they changed the name because it was SQL Server tool or something like that. And now they changed it to Azure Data Studio. So mainly it's open source, and it's lightweight, but it's a new one, so sometimes you'll see that it's like not always fine, but it's really great. Main functionalities are typical scripting and typical functionalities for SQL queries and stuff. We can make backup and restore files, IntelliSense, without the need to use, I don't know, any extra extensions or installing anything like the case in SQL Server Management Studio. By default for TSQL, it has IntelliSense. And this is the main part. You can export JSON straight away or CSV. Literally, you make a query, select, export to CSV. And you can also, we will just see how to make some charting. Literally, you make some chart by or something straight away. You don't need any extra Excel or something. So literally, somehow they made some main functionalities of SQL Management Studio, mixed it with Excel functionalities together, and they put them in a version of Visual Studio Code. So it's like three cool things together. And import wizard, which if you know in Excel, you can import and you see everything. Literally, you can do the same thing here to import a new table. You don't need to make a SQL bulk import for some data or stuff. This is also known in Power BI, so it's like the same thing. So we go to a demo. Okay, and I made a mistake actually. I didn't start recording. But I will do it now. Full screen. Okay, so mainly, okay, let's close all everything. Close. Oopsie, sorry. Okay, so mainly this is when you open it, this is how it looks like. It's similar to Visual Studio Code. So typical things. This is the interface. Main part about it is having here, as you know, to see errors and stuff. You can just from this part. Okay, so down here it's to see just the errors of things. Yeah. Sure. So, and here, this is typical if you wanna tweet feedback or submit a bug or something. Like, yeah, please, if you use this, please do it, because I mean, everyone, if 100% if you start using it, you'll find some bugs. This is a difficult thing. But it's cool when they are so active. So when you report something, literally in the same day, someone will answer you and you start doing stuff. Yeah, and here if you have some notification or stuff, which is typical for Visual Studio Code. Parts here we have servers, which typical here connections. If we wanna add new connection, so typically we have Microsoft SQL Server, and the kind of the server, what kind of authentication, and here you have advanced. Same thing. So it's like if you have kind of some source which have a special port or some kind of pooling, so you have everything to do. And we have recent connections and saved connection, which is a great thing. So you don't need to repeat it. And when I use some recent connection, for example, it shows password. Sometimes this is kind of a bug. Sometimes it doesn't show, but actually you connect when even it doesn't show the password. You can connect. And the password, we will see the user settings are registered as JSON, but we cannot see the password. So the password is like saved. There is value attribute save. It's true, but you cannot find the password. So this is one of the things. So, and you cannot export password. So what's great also about it, you have groups. You can make group servers. For example, if you have let's say UAT dev servers and prod. So simply you have your groups of servers. For example, here I'm literally, this is doing my diploma. I just removed them right now, but literally I have 3 or 4 servers. I'm doing them. And which is great, so I don't know. Right now for the demo, so I have 3 of them here. So simple. I know where I find myself. And yeah, so same thing. If you want to add a new server group, you just, which is cool, you have name, group, you choose a color to make distinguish between them. Yeah. Here it's typical just to search something. This one, task history. It's useful when you make a backup. If you make a backup of a database, then it will tell you when you did the last task of backup and stuff. So for tracking, it's useful. I skipped this one. I'll tell you later why. Here, this is the file explorer. So for example, right now I opened a normal workspace. So here, this is my whole files. And this is so great. Why? Because it's related also with, we have source control. So this is mainly, you see here, I have master. So mainly, which is one of the amazing things that's in coding. We have Git and we are using it stuff. For, let's say, I mean, in our team, we have a big team, BI team and tools team. Tools, we are the ones that do development. We have BI, we do business intelligence. And always they have problem with Git and stuff when they do some versioning and things. And here you have it simple. So you have everything together. You don't need to write some, to make some troubleshooting with Git and stuff. At least when you do some normal commits and pushes. So it's simple, you don't need anything to do. And here, this is like the best thing. These are the extensions, which is typical as Visual Studio Code. So. And another thing that is great, this is it. Here, okay, I'll change to Cindy. You don't need any extra monitor to have SQL Server Management Studio and Terminal or Bash or something. You have everything at once. Same thing like in Studio Code. You can choose which kind of bash you have by default. And now this is the most important part. there is no menus. As you see, there is no menus, as it's the case in SQL Server Management Studio. So simple, we have to use Control P, and this is, you need to get used to the palettes, and I don't know if you use it in Visual Studio Code or if someone of you using it. So you just the superior sign and you choose which kind of setting or thing you do. For example, I want to change the shell. Here, select default shell. So here it gives me to choose which one I will be using. Is PowerShell, CMD or so. So if I change it to PowerShell, the new one will be PowerShell. So this is also a bad thing because when you make a default one, so every new one will be the same kind of the default shell. Okay, so let's go. So mainly we're talking about databases. So what kind of servers we have? Mainly, officially it supports SQL Server 2014, but it actually it worked great with 2012, and I have people even tried with 2008, and it works great. But it's like mainly they are SQL Server 2014 and up. Azure SQL databases. Yes, by default, if you are using data warehouses, and this is the newest thing. It's actually this is literally last month. PostgreSQL is also supported right now, so which is great things. For OSs, so from Windows 7 and up, Windows Server 2008, and actually because 2008, I mean soon it will be not supported by Microsoft, so this is like the lowest level. macOS 10 Sierra, that's also kind of old. And Linux, Red Hat, that's one of the, I mean, I don't think there are some people still using 7.3. So. Yeah, so, and talking about the Azure Data Studio and SQL Server Management Studio. So here we are not talking about something replacing something. SQL Server Management Studio will be always there because it has some things that Azure Data Studio cannot support. Mainly, I would say mainly it's for developers or people who just write SQL queries and those stuff. So because it has dashboards, we'll see this. We can make your own graphs in the dashboard. And the extensions, integrated terminals. But when it comes, for example, if you have Table Designer to see this schema diagram, that doesn't have it. But some people requested it, and this is the cool part. And I hope that someone is doing some extension. This is the coolest part. So you don't have it, you just request it, which is not the case with SQL Server Management Studio. You cannot request something. You can report feedback, but you don't know. Themes. You can choose a lot. I will show you a lot of them. Notebooks. I don't know. You know what Jupyter notebooks, Azure notebooks? Any one of you? So mainly this is like those who are doing data science, machine learning. We will have a demo of that. It's a simple thing. It's like mainly it has kind of Jupyter is like notebooks where it has different kernels, SQL for this case, Spark, R, Python. At the same time, so you have a block of code, then under it you can make markdown block, just text, comments. For example, this is so cool for troubleshooting. If you have some client and you want to send just troubleshooting, please run this one's query. So you have everyone it will run and it has the output by itself, and then the next one, then the next one. So you can save it, you can export it, and you don't have the output place where you don't have the rest of the queries. When you run one, you don't see the next one. Here you can see all of them. Database schema diagram, as I told you, and cross-platform. This is the amazing thing. So you can use it wherever you are, and you don't have any problem. Any deep administrative configurations or stuff, this is not the tool for the moment. Okay. So this is actually one of the most asked question in Stack Overflow and the issues that they reported. So this is how I do mainly my presentation. So I look for what people are struggling with, and many people that are using the repositories, Git, but they wanna export those server groups as you saw. and this is actually still now it's not part of the Git folder. So you cannot export the server group. Actually, it's just local ones. You can export them. But we will see how to do it and how to handle Azure subscription. So just, you can see everything there, or should I make zoom in? Yeah, fine, okay. So it's working, great. So, first I forget to talk about the color themes. And this is so amazing. So if you want to do some, I mean, I don't know, but like I'm fan of this thing.
Oh.
Look at that. But for now, let's use just the by default one. Another thing also, you can split down. I mean, if I open some files, you will see this is important for. I mean, if you have something, so you want to see different ones, and which is the struggle with SQL Server Management Studio. You cannot see which ones and where.
And when you have multiple queries, can you have more results?
No. Unfortunately, no, because the output is only one. This is the output one. So this is one of the bad things they still have. Yeah. Okay. So mainly I will talk about the settings. Settings here. This is the command palette, actually, the one that I opened with the Control P. It's the same thing. It's command palette, but you can open it from here. So settings. This is still on preview. They have a front end. It didn't used to be like this 3 months ago, and which is cool. I mean, this is so great. So we have everything. But if you want to export it, for example, I have this one and I have this one, and both of them I'm using them, and I want to export my user settings, for example, I mean the colors, many dashboards and stuff, how to do. So simply you have here, this one, open settings JSON. Boom, you have everything. You can copy everything, and you have it. For example, if you have some connection groups, which are here, this is my case, for example, here I have this one, Solvency's gap demo. So you just copy it, and it will go with the other one. And also you have the connections with them. So, but the only thing, as I told you, password you have here, it doesn't copy. So the only thing, if you are in group, you can make config file or something. You share it in the repository, but the only thing, password, you need to use something. I mean, which is typical. I don't know if we use KeePass. I mean, every team have their own stuff how to say password. So the only thing that they need to add is password, and that's it. And yeah, and here also you can see which are like if I want to make files autosave or not, which shell I'm using and everything. So okay, so this is one of the coolest part about it. And okay, here we're talking about Azure subscriptions. Azure used to have here a logo of Azure, and they removed it on March update or something, and I hate it actually because you cannot see it. You see here, if this open, it will goes down, and you don't see it. And it's like I personally am using it. It's like, what the heck? Where did it go? Yeah, so sometimes they do some bad updates, but here also, if you are used to, you have the user person who's connected. So you connect to, hello. So mainly, here we have the connections. It will load actually. So I'll get my connection. I have 2 accounts. I'm connected with 2 ones. So you see here, I can see what kind of subscription and stuff. And the coolest part, you can filter. So if you have a lot of resources or stuff, you can filter which one. Same thing here. So if you have those one, because like I cannot connect with my company one, and the other one has a lot of subscriptions, and which is like sometimes it's hell. You are looking for some resource and you don't know in which one. So you can simply filter which subscription you want to use and so. Yeah. Okay. And And if you want to add an account, you just come here, you have both of them, you just added one. And actually it will give you user code. You just copy open. This is the way of logging, if you know it, from the IoT devices with Azure. They need you to send you code and to connect. It's doing the same thing because it's a device authentication. So it will ask for French, okay. It's asking for code, so just here, it's just paste. And it will connect if you want to connect to a new one. So, okay. I don't want to do it because literally I had some problems. I don't know what happened, so I will try the best to keep the demo going fine. Okay, that's for the Azure subscription and how to use the resources. Okay, now I like GIFs, so this is it. It's all about extensions. I mean, those bricks, I mean, not wall, but extensions. That's how you build Azure Data Studio, because by default, it's literally, it almost doesn't understand anything. It's useless. But when you use some extensions, it works. So mainly, we'll see those ones, but I will share with you a GitHub project. I'll do all the samples there, and you'll have a list also which one are useful for daily use. Integrated PowerShell. This is actually Azure PowerShell, which is great because thanks to it, if you have a PowerShell file open, you just click run selected, and it runs the net. Azure Notebooks. We'll see SQL Server Profiler and the import wizard. So straight to them and see. Okay. So here, this is why I skipped it. This is the PowerShell command Explorer. So you need to install it here. You need to come just this one here to install. So you just added it. And yeah, same thing for SQL Server import or profiler and so on. So okay, I have some demos ready, so I hope it will work. Okay, so here PowerShell. Let's start with PowerShell. This script. Anyone used to PowerShell or you code in PowerShell? Yeah, okay. So fine, great. So mainly here, okay. So this part is just declaring some variables. So just resource group name, location, my subscription ID, target resource group name, location. Why? Because we will create a database and make a copy of it. So that's why the source one and the target, my login and password. So here the server and the database names and which IP addresses. Next, this is we will set the Azure context. It's needed because else it needs to choose where it's running this. In which subscription. Next we will create two resource groups. So here using the Azure Resource Group, new Azure Resource Group command. Then this is function to create a server. Okay, and yeah. Here firewall, then we create a blank database and we copy, okay. I'll modify the blank one, just silly. I don't wanna make blank one. Okay, So this is we don't need the blank one. So adventure works, all of you know it. So it's like just simple. So it will take it, and then this is where we will copy it. Yeah. And these ones I will run it later on just to connect to those servers that we will create. Okay. So just need to change the database names. Okay. Let's make demo. I did demo here. Okay. Yeah, hoping it will work. So here you see I run selections, and by default it will change to partial integrated console. So the variables is the easiest thing because it's nothing to do. And then we set the subscription and create the... Okay, go on. Okay, you see here it gives me just which subscription I'm using. Then okay, it's created them. I mean, we can run all of them, but just doing one by one because it takes time and the internet is not that great right now here. So it took me time to run all of them at once. Guys, now you see it's still running. Here you can see it is still running. Okay. Let's see in Azure what's happening. Okay. So great. So here I see all my resources. And okay. At the end it will create all of them. As you see, I've run it many times. This script is basically the West Europe and North Europe. I did it today. So yeah, so it's since we have duplicate here, so one of them is created already done. And also you can do everything here. I mean by the portal, but just it's easier to make it by partial. And so sometimes you have some servers or software you cannot. If you cannot have access to some browsers or so. Okay. Those scripts I will share it with you, and actually they are samples, but I will share all of them and show you what's in it. Okay. We'll get back to them later, but let's just use one of the servers that we have already. Okay. We'll connect to this one. this one. Okay, so here we modified to demo. It's there, so great. Okay, we just copy the password. I mean, it's not the right way to do. And here I can choose which server group because I will have a connection. I can choose give it to gap demo or add it to a new group. I can create a new one. Live demo. And let's give it this one. Okay, and connect. Oh, okay. It's okay. Which server? Okay. This is just to get the which server it's created. Okay. Okay, I just use this one because this one is safe. But yeah, this is actually one of the things that's happened in the last period. Maybe because PowerShell is still running, and because of it, it's have some ambiguity. Also, if you are using Azure CLI and Azure PowerShell, sometimes it gives you here some errors, and literally by restarting it, those ones that you saw on the portal, literally I created them and before it was error. I say, let's do the basic troubleshooting, close and restart the IDE, and it works. So this is still one of the problems with this too. But anyway, so let's skip this part. So this is how PowerShell will edit. Okay, so let's do some normal queries. So here just we are using the, okay, let's connect. We'll connect using this one. Okay, get demo, connect. Okay, so here same thing with the SQL Server Management Studio. We need to change it because we cannot say use. This is not the fault of the tool, but fault of Azure because Azure doesn't understand use database. Then, okay, let's run this query. Here, you see, this is the result. The cool part about it, we can make like this, save as CSV. I mean, okay, let's create a new folder, CSV. Here you go. Or save as JSON. Or if you, yeah?
Can you edit the data?
Yeah, you can edit, but not from the results. But if you wanna, I mean, if you have the, okay, if you have the table, let's say this one. Okay. Okay, something wrong with it, but it's like I don't know this is really weird one because normally when you create this is the menu for the database. Normally it should say script as create or script as drop, and it has like the edit one. But like, yeah, trust me, it works.
Maybe it's not supported on Azure.
No, actually it works. I'm not using on-premise stuff only at work, but for any personal stuff, that's all of them in Azure. So it's like literally I don't know how on-premise Word works or not. But it 100% works if just.
And what did you say instead of use? How do you interpret the database? How do you, what is the solution around the use?
What do you mean? I didn't.
Instead of use, how does it?
I mean, in Azure you don't use, you need to select here, because normally you just use the name of database, my simple database, like this, but it doesn't understand it. And this is one of the coolest part about the anti-license. Here you can see it tell you, it's like, yeah, this is a wrong one, and you don't use it. Okay, so here. Yeah, it's same thing like an SQL server. Yeah. So here, what I want you to see it, not just this, but like here also we can do some charts. I mean, it's not the best request. Query.
Can you display the execution path of the query?
Yep. Here, explain. Thanks. That's the next point that I'm going to. Here you have it, but it's not that cool. And that's where extensions comes to make this stuff cool. You just need to open it because it's XML. And look at this. Here, query properties, static usage, when it was used, this, I mean, each key and stuff, lost updates. Here you can see merge, we used inner join. You can see the cost here of CPU and stuff, and the estimated rows and everything. You can, same thing for the index sort. And trust me, for even complicated, I didn't want to use complicated queries, but it's like literally goes down a whole tree. And the best thing about it, so it's like you have the advanced here, and you can copy this as a row with suggested G's and things. Yeah, and you can zoom in and so. This is one of the coolest right now extensions that exist. Unfortunately, this one I will give you a link. Stuff. This one you cannot take it right now from the marketplace, even though Microsoft they're writing bought it and they're happy, but they didn't accept it in the marketplace. But you can just download it from GitHub, and actually not just this, many even Microsoft extensions you need to download it from marketplace, and it will take you to MSDN. You download it from there, and then you need to add it here from the what is it, install extension. So it's like literally I have here. This is someone. It's like this is from Microsoft actually. This one's, and yeah. So okay, fine. This is not a typical one. Okay, I just restarted. Because this is typical errors that happens just because it's loading many things. Okay. You just need to wait it to load everything, and okay. Here see we have all the groups. Yeah, that's what I told you. That's the problem here. The internet connection is not that great. It takes time to load everything in Azure. Okay, I need to connect to this one. Get connect, please. Okay, let's use another one.
And Mohamed, this information is stored on the cloud, on Azure, or somewhere on local?
All of these ones are in cloud actually. Yeah. This is our in Azure, everything is okay. Don't need this one, yes. Just delete them to make the less impact. Okay, nice. Let's connect, please. PowerShell. Yes. Cool. I mean, this is the weirdest thing ever. Yeah, okay. Manage. Okay, let's just move on to the notebooks, and we're hoping it will work because it's so related to it. Okay, let's select connection. Okay, fine. And these are the notebooks. This is the coolest part. You see here? So mainly the notebooks, you have the let's see. So you have the kernel. You choose which one. So if you're running SQL queries, if you're running Python or Scala for those who are doing some big data or stuff, or PySpark also. And the same thing, if I don't know if Microsoft introduced Polybase to connect different SQL, the big data in SQL Server. It's also supported in Azure Data Studio, and those things come so in handy because when you're working with Hadoop or stuff, so you need SQL doesn't give you the efficiency like Scala or Python or so. Here we are using normal SQL, so it's just running some normal queries. So, and you see here, each query gives you the result by its own. And so this is a better one. This one I'm using Python. And this is the coolest thing. So you can write actually with normal markdown, and you can write everything, every details, what's the title, you can add pictures, links. So for here, this is the official documentation. But just you need it, because the kernel is the one that needs time to be loaded. So here, just a link, you added it, and so same thing if you write some, in GitHub or in Azure DevOps, it's like the same way how to write documentation, same thing. So okay, let's try this one. So mainly this one, it will just try to connect. We select some data and do some table profiling, simple thing. Okay. So here it's running. Normally in Jupyter, so when you have some, tell you what, I will add something. So here just I insert code after. So when you, let's say print hello, when you run it, it will be running and then it will give something. Those one already running and worked fine, because if some error, it will give you something. So here, run. it will give you straight away what's happening that's wrong.
Does it support IntelliSense?
For the notebooks, no, as I know. But mainly if you have a Python and stuff, so it's typically it will find, it will understand what's wrong straight away. It will give you at least the errors straight away. Whatever that. Okay, so then we have here. Okay, here, this is we just like select top. In here data flow, we just select top. Same as query, select top 3 rows. Give us the rows and everything, and this is actually the last one is the coolest part about the Azure machine learning data preparation. It's SDK. That's cool library to give you, for example, if you want to make a derived column. Let's say you have date, and you want to extract just the year or just the month. Okay, give me how would you do that from a column to make a new one, just derive of that one. Well, this one, just literally you take derived column, you give the name of the column and the name of the new one and example. So literally say, I want from this date, I want to just month. You'll just write value of the first row or something, and it will generate automatically. It does everything. Actually, it's SDK for preparation for machine learning. Itself is using machine learning. And here, yeah, so see, this is get profiling, so it gives you just straight away, because for preparation you want to know what's the maximum, minimum, because this is so important. Sometimes you have dates or stuff, and if you want some start dates, for example, here if you have something that's wrong, for example this one none, so which is bad for data when you'll be using some model. Yeah. So mainly this is how it works in the this is what's the notebooks is about. So just typically you can here, and to clear results we just click here and straight away you have everything. And what's the cool about it, this one is like you can this is, as you know, so just a normal markdown. If I make it to hashtags, a simple thing. Yeah, and here you can add it just code or text, or just by clicking here you can add it new ones. Okay, so those, but notebooks. What do we have next? Okay, this is another cool thing. I don't have a good, maybe this CSV file is a good one. This is literally the lastest new features and new things about the Azure Data Studio, which is Sendance. This is April thing. It's last week it appeared. So just give it, mainly you need to give it CSV file or TSV, and it has first line unique, which is header, and yeah. And here you can play with your data. I mean, you can. It's really. I personally didn't have enough time to play with it, but you can create some snapshots. You clear the selection, and here you'll find everything about this Sendance. Microsoft shows better demo than me, but it's like, yeah. So literally, this is what it's used for, and you do that just by clicks. Literally, you don't need anything to do that. This is also what this is just here. That's how they show the cube. Okay, I think this one is better. Let's do this. We have some cities. Okay. Here. I mean, imagine working with something like that. So. And here you have everything about the selected ones. For example, here you have the details, and you can search for it in Bing and stuff. I mean, you can do a lot of stuff actually with these things, but you just and you don't have to build anything. You don't have to add a new, I don't know, Power BI or stuff. I mean, I love Power BI, but it's like everything in one place. And which, like, typically the best thing when you are doing some data, you don't want to add an extra, I don't know, Power BI or something, and prepare data in SQL Server and do this. So everything at one place. If you are coding some machine learning code, data science, you do it here straight away. You see your graphs, you see your charts, and straight away you have everything. So. And now it's like the basic thing that I wanna show you, which is, I hope it will work. No way. Okay, what's wrong with it? We have Microsoft master connect. Okay, fine. Thanks God. Okay, so this is another SQL Server reports, which give you some information if you have more databases, the usage here, their weight counts and stuff. So these are the dashboards and the charts that I'm talking about. So you don't need to do some scripts and see everything. And I mean, there is nothing wrong with scripting, but it's like sometimes you want to see some graphic to understand what's happening. So here, if you have license for Idera SQLDM, I don't have one, so that's why it doesn't show everything. You can see your database list. You can search one. You don't have to run select or anything. And here, if you want to add a new network or new query, what's cool about it, because it's straight away give you the connection from that server, which is like in typical world, in great world, in this one. In ideal world, it should work straight away, not like what happened right now. If you have different connections at the same time, when you go to the server and you create a new query, so straight away it will use that connection, and you don't need to change or disconnect. Also, the new network, because the notebook, those Azure notebooks, because they are related to the servers, so you need to save them there. And when you click on database, we go to manage the database. And here, last execution times, you can see, so like this is one preparing for demos and times that happens. And when you click on one, okay, let's see this one here. Okay. When I see some details, this happens actually when you have some, here, you can see each one of them, you can see the details of the query ID, what's the query SQL tags, and everything about it. And how to do them. And also here you have the dashboard. You see my pricing tier in Azure, because I'm using the standard one, and the compatibility level and everything. And to edit some ones like these ones, you just go to here. Let's say no one. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay, let's say we want to chart, make it normal one. So just remove this one. Okay.
Can you visualize the results in standard bands?
Those results straight away no, but there is something cool.
You need to save it.
Save it as CSV, because this is what's this is like mainly what's the recommendation how to use it. I mean, how we need to use it. So you just save it because it must be here. I mean, even if you open file. If you open, let's say open file, Okay, this one is init. Okay, I have good one. Output here. Yes, this one. Open. So even if it's open, this one, because it's open editors, when I click, I don't see anything. Results, I view in sandbox because it's not in the folder, so it needs to be in the folder loaded. Unfortunately, I mean, but come on, it's just one click. But it's just 1 week, so I mean, definitely this is actually one of the things after finishing demos, because I've been working 3 days on this demo, so it's like I have literally 20, 30 issues that I'm reporting. Okay, so what's wrong with this? View incidents. This is another one because it loaded.
Never mind.
Okay, you see? Oh, you like this one, you don't like the other one. That's weird. Unfortunately, it didn't. I don't know what's. Maybe these ones that are not unique. Let's say ID1, ID2. This is the other thing that they said it must be.
Never mind.
Sorry. Okay, so, but we can do something else with that file. No, we can do something else. Here, this one, we can, okay. Yeah. Okay, let's here. Yeah, demo, connect, come on. Oh, this is strange because like this is like literally the strangest thing ever, because like normally we can import the wizard because you come just to the simple database. I mean, to a database you just right click and you have import, and I'll show you which one I have table already with it. This one I just modified. Actually, this was the demo of it. So I just okay, I'll show you the import one. This is how it should look like. You just after installing it, so it will tell you to import flat file. You just give it in which database and which tables schema. So if you are using DBO and you have CIS and stuff, you can choose. And literally next ones it will be just straight away close the data. Then it give you possibility to choose not nulls one and primary key. Modify the headers, so the column name and stuff, or the type if string, int and stuff. So it's literally the same thing when you do it in Power BI or Excel. That's unfortunately I cannot make the yeah. And those ones, so if we make a chart here, these ones we have create and cite. This one is just you just copy it straight and then here, okay. So you see, it's just by straight away. This is the one, so it's like check. Okay, it doesn't refresh straight away, and you see the name changes straight away. So it's like simple, literally. You just, when you make a query, you just copy it here from create inside. And you can also copy it as image or save as image. So if you make a chart and you wanna, so you can export it straight away. Or you just edit it. And also here we can, for sure we can edit the places. So it's like literally dashboard, so you choose which place to do anything. So it's literally same thing that you may do in Power BI or stuff. So, but you have it for dashboards for each database or each server. So it's not only them. The demo may not be that useful, but imagine you have some you wanna know which one is having some deadlocks or stuff or such administrative queries. So you have them straight away. You don't need to run script or make a scheduled task. So you just open it, open dashboard, you see everything, and if you wanna run query, you can run it at any time. So you have it here. But if you wanna just refresh it, it will run the query straight away. Okay. So, I mean, the unfortunate thing is we couldn't see this one. I'm sorry for that. I would try to make actually, because I'm recording, right now we are recording Camtasia Studio, so I'll try to make another demo how it works. And that one leads us to this. The project is in GitHub and Microsoft. Right now we have 1,276 open issues. Hey, we have more than 2,000 closed issues, so that's cool. And the product is literally, it's like 1 year and a half. Like, I mean, it's the hard work on itself, and it's mainly, you know, Visual Studio Code is also updating, and the updates from code you need to make straight the good ones and make updates to Azure Data Studio because it's a clone project. So it's not one from scratch where you know everything, and which is making it harder. And doing some code in Electron.js, I mean the template that's used for Visual Studio Code or Microsoft Teams, and this one is not simple because you are doing literally Node.js and stuff. And imagine to run on it some SQL queries and doing some kind of cool stuff. It's not that simple. But there is monthly updates. So if it's a bug that should be immediately done. And I have to say there is a stable version and I'm insider one. So I know my responsibility. So I'm using one that's not stable because I'm using we have like literally sometimes it's daily updates because of those bugs or stuff. So it depends if you want to use stable or, and the updates, like if you remember Power BI in 2015-16, you need to, it will tell you, you open Power BI desktop, you have new updates. You click on it, to open MSDN, the website of Power BI, and you need to download a new one, and automatically it will uninstall one and install this one. This one is much better. This one actually, you just go straight away here, help, you have check for updates, and also it can give you here also about it give you which version you are using. So, and if it has some updates, it will update itself. So it's like, and Power BI now is a great tool. So I think this is the same way for this one. Code source, I still didn't finish. I'm sorry for this. If I was myself, I will give feedback 5 for myself because this is better thing. But it's the repo. I did already push for the PowerShell, but I will make it much better because I will make a README file so you know which steps to do because most of those extensions that already installed, so maybe it happens some errors, and I will make a frequent asked question to troubleshoot some errors that may come your way. So typical errors that may happen, and I will show you. And if anything goes wrong, just make an issue or something. just raise an issue or give me. I will look into it. So. And you just, the only thing you'll need, so you have subscription to add your subscription ID for most of those demos. That's all for me. And yeah, any questions? You're welcome. Any questions? Klidně v češtině, no problem. You have something, and it's like whatever. If you want to go back to the Azure Studio or something. So okay, so thank you so much, and yeah, so just here's the link if you want to. And mainly, yeah, you will find the slides and the presentation, all of the in the Azure Bootcamp CZ. Tak máte tam jako všechno jako záznamy, máme všechny jako prezentace. Tak jestli jako to nemáte, tak budete to najít jako